Good afternoon, Patriot fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 3, Episode 33. And this afternoon, we have with us the head basketball coach for Patriot High School, Sherman Rivers, here with us. Sherman, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
No, sure, no problem. Well, hey, let's start at the beginning here. When you were growing up, I mean, was it basketball, or did you play all sports, or and then concentrate on basketball there in high school?
That was it. I played everything growing up: football, basketball, baseball. Even played soccer for a little bit. My parents wanted me involved in every and anything. Probably a way for me to get out of the house, most likely. But they always had me signed up for something. I mean, I was doing, Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts and all that type of stuff when I was younger as well. So.
Yeah, well, hey, and then when you got to high school, I know that you're from the Woodbridge area, but how was basketball there in high school and wanting to play at the next level? I know that you're a few years younger than me, but just we didn't have social media as when you and I were in high school.
Correct. Yeah.
So how was it here when you thought, hey, with the game of basketball, I can play at the next level after high school?
Uh, Basketball probably became a decision for two reasons. One, I wasn't a big fan of the cold,
Yeah,
so because I was playing football, and to be honest with you, I was probably better at football than I was at basketball at the time I made the decision. But
Mhm.
wasn't a big fan of the weather. Not like now where these kids got all the warm weather gear to put on. It was a long sleeve cotton T-shirt going under my shoulder pads, and that wasn't doing a whole lot. Um, and then playing at Potomac High School under in a really good program that was highly competitive, and it was one of those things that missing time away from the team for other sports was going to put me in situations where I was most likely not going to keep my same stature among the team, just because not for anything that was anything sinister, just with we had a lot of really talented guys, and so you missed time. That was time that they were getting to be able to be there and be in the spots you're supposed to be. So after ninth grade, I just decided that I was just going to play basketball from then on. I started to get recruited as well. So it just seemed like a better path for me.
Yes, and I know with my brother Mike Ragsdale played baseball there at William and Mary from '92 to '95, and then my sister was a student, Michelle Ragsdale at William and Mary there from '97 to 2000. So I know that you played college basketball there as part of the tribe, and the CAA was competitive there in the late '90s into the 2000s.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the league was really strong. You got to think that was before everybody started leaving, going to the different conferences that they went to. We had VCU, we had Richmond, Old Dominion, George Mason were all part of the league. Obviously, UNC Women still is, but they were really strong during those years. We're a tournament team for probably a few of those years that I was there. So it was always good games. We had American University in that league as well at the
Yeah.
time. So it was always a competitive game every night in and night out, and it wasn't any nights off. So
Right, right. And then I see with looking at when you were at William and Mary, it was also a place where you can play day one there with being on campus.
yeah, that factored into my decision. I wasn't. I really wasn't keen on going somewhere and sitting and having to wait a long time. I really wanted to be able to play. Had a lot of different options as far as scholarship offers. Felt that that decision for William Mary was going to be the best decision for me individually, as far as being able to get on the court and play early. So that was really a big reason, and obviously being a very good school.
Right. Yes, and I know that. they had some NIT runs there with Tony Shaver, but my brother and I, we go back and forth that one of these years they're going to win the CAA and get in the big dance.
It'd be nice. It'd definitely be nice to see it happen for sure.
Right. And so, hey, so after William and Mary, what was next there for you before you got into coaching?
So after I finished at William and Mary, I spent 7 years playing professionally overseas.
Okay.
Um, Played in England, Czech Republic, Portugal, Switzerland, France, just kind of all over the place. So did that for the next 7, and then obviously after that, decided to stop and get into coaching.
Right. And then before Patriot High School, did you once you got settled there in Northern Virginia, what was the first stop there with your coaching experience?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be able to go back to my old high school and coach with Keith Honore. He had taken over for Kendall at that point, and had some success there. Obviously, being able to help them win a couple state championships. Spent 1 season in that little brief time at University of Mount Olive, trying to figure out if I wanted to be a college coach or not. Didn't really feel like it was for me, so did that for 1 year. Came back to Potomac after being there for a couple years, and then we were able to win 2 state championships in 3 years at that point.
Okay. All right. Well, I know with being involved with Western Branch football, Western Branch baseball here over the years, and following the basketball program, I know that Patriot here is a Group 6 school, and you guys have been successful there in the Northern Virginia, and also I think you've even played Western Branch here a couple times.
Definitely, definitely. First time we played them, I'm not going to lie to you, it might have been the best high school game that I've ever seen. I know it seems biased because I was a part of the game, but they came up here. This was the year that they got to the state championship game. And we played them in an overtime game that honestly, it seems like it wasn't a whole lot of defense being played because it finished in the 90s.
Right.
But both of us were very good teams. There was just a lot of really good offense out there. And I just remember thinking, like, man, this might have been the best high school game I've ever watched. So,
Wow. Wow. Yeah, yeah, and I know with even, bouncing back from after the pandemic, you guys have been successful here, not only there in the Northern Virginia region, but also with being a top 6 school there in the state.
yeah, correct. So, obviously I came to Patriot 2016, 2017 was my first season. Took over a program that didn't have a whole lot of success before then. Never had a winning record. The previous 3 seasons had won 3 games each of those seasons. So really wasn't a history of winning before then. Came in the first year. We had some success, won 11 games, which now seems like not very much, but at the time was a huge deal. Won our first regional playoff game that year and was a shot away from beating W.T. Woodson, who ended up being the eventual state champ that season. So I knew that we had, started something that was going to be pretty special. You never know how the kids are going to make you turn the corner. And that next year, we had a lot of kids coming back from that team, and we were able to win our first district championship in 17, 18, and haven't lost the district since. So that's always a good thing. And then we've, over the years, we've able to capture 3 different regional championships, make a few trips to the state tournament, and in the last 2 years getting to the state semis, and then this past year the state final.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And I know with following you guys there on social media, I mean, with definitely like the way that you guys promote your postseason awards here with the skyline of DC there in the background.
Right. Well, listen, I can't take all the credit for those things. We got a lot of great people around us that help us with that. Teron Patterson is, in charge of running our social media, one of our coaches. A friend of ours, Anthony Arellano, got into the graphic design business and has been, we've been fortunate enough that he's put together some great things for us. So anybody out there needs some graphic design stuff, definitely hit him up. He's really good at it. Having the right people in the right places to do the right things is always helpful. It makes me look really good.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And then what is I mean, with high school sports nowadays, I know that there's some athletes that, run track during an off season, but and try to play some other sports. But what is you know, Patriot basketball here during the off season? Do you guys play in a spring or summer season, or what is the off season like?
Well, we still got some guys that play other sports. One of our better players this past year is actually a three-sport guy. He's a football, basketball, and track guy. So that was extremely impressive because he's very talented in all of them. Another guy we got is a baseball player. So even with that, we have most of our guys around for off-season stuff. We're actually about to get started up at the Capital Hoop Summer League up at DeMatha, which was one of the top summer leagues I think in the country. So that starts this weekend. Then there'll be some live events that are over the summer because now they're doing those and get a chance to get in front of some college coaches. So we do a good job of participation in our off season program. We basically have 100% participation from guys. It's a big reason why we're able to be successful. Guys are there in the summer, putting in the work, getting stronger, getting better, and improving their skills.
Right. And then what do you guys do here between Christmas and New Year's? Are you guys, I mean, I know they're in the Northern Virginia area, not far to, go to Maryland or, go to some of the surrounding states, but are you guys able to, play in like a holiday tournament there between Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, I mean, we've been to different places. We've traveled down to Richmond and Henrico, their holiday hoops tournament, which is extremely competitive. This past year, we had the Governor's Challenge, which was in Maryland. One year, we went to West Virginia. That was a good experience for our guys to be able to go out there. So we try to find different places and different types of competition, ways that we can push ourselves and to get better.
Right. Yes. And I know that it's definitely everybody's goal there to get to the Siegel Center
For
there
sure.
in the in the what, around the middle of March.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I always tell our guys if you're playing in March when everybody's starting to talk about AAU practice, then you're doing something right. So, our goal is to obviously be playing into that time of year every year, and hopefully we can be the ones that are happy after the last game because it's only one team that can feel that way.
Right. Right. And how is your team looking here for 23-24? I mean, with who that's coming back.
I'm confident in our guys. We only had three seniors,
Oh, okay.
so I know that's probably shocking to a lot of people. But three seniors that left. All three are going to be playing in college next year, which is great. But I'm really excited about what we got coming back. I think we have a very good chance of getting back to the Siegel Center and having an opportunity to rectify what happened this past season. So it's a grind though, and it's a journey. So everybody's got to make sure.
Right. Well, hey, I certainly appreciate your time, and here at the NBA, we got conference finals. There, the Eastern and Western Conference.
For sure, for sure. I mean, obviously a mainstay for the last 2 decades with LeBron being there and being there with the Lakers and playing against a really good team with the Nuggets and Jokic, was outrageous in that first game, and then tonight starting with the Heat and the Celtics, which I know everybody sees the Heat being an 8 seed, but they're not a normal 8 seed. I think they just kind of
Right.
BS their way through the regular season. So
Yeah, I mean, it, definitely. I mean, with to piggyback on what you just said, I mean, there with the Lakers, can't believe that they were actually a 7 seed, and then and then the Heat. I mean, just with their history. I mean, and them being an 8 seed, but when it's postseason time, you lace them up, and whoever survive in advance.
Exactly. So, they'll two good series. I'm very excited to watch them and see how it progresses.
Yeah, well, hey, Sherman, I definitely appreciate your time, and I know that down here in the 757, I know that they got a spring off season, but I know that your guys that aren't involved in other sports there with the off season tournaments, and then also. AAU, and just to stay sharp on their game. Looking forward to follow their Patriot basketball there next season.
I really appreciate it, definitely. And, hopefully we can give everybody a reason to want to watch.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if there's one good thing about the pandemic, I know that schools have gotten here that NFHS website. So even if people can't make it, they can still keep track of out of district teams there through that website.
Oh, for sure, definitely. It's obviously is one of the positives that came out of the pandemic situation from a sports standpoint. Being able to catch the stuff on the network and be able to watch even when you can't attend. So that's always great.
Right. So yeah, just and then the thing is, I mean, I thought huddle, was just for football, but just the avenues here with technology that are out there for different sports to post videos for your players to showcase their talents, to be recruited.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a great tool for us, not only from recruitment, but just being able to have something that kids can go watch and make some corrections, make some highlights, whatever they need to do, ways we can teach our team on things that we see and break it down. So it's definitely a great thing.
Right. Well, hey, I know I've lived in the Tidewater area since '87, but I know that there's definite competitive basketball here all up and down the state, and definitely 757, the 804, and the 703, definitely like to showcase their talents.
For sure. I'm sure there are a lot of angry folks that is down there in the 757 this year. I've seen we played four different teams from down there this past year and beat all of them. So
All
I'm
right.
sure they're going to be gunning for us next season.
Right. Yeah. Well, and then how does the schedule work for you guys? I mean, outside of the district, is it just pretty much whoever you can get here to schedule you guys, especially with being a Group 6 school, and you don't want to go too low there with the VHSL different groups.
I usually try to find, the toughest schedule that we can get outside of district play. Obviously, those are fixed. So, it's very important for us to challenge ourselves outside of the district. So when we get to district play, when you get to the playoffs, you're prepared for the type of things that you're going to see.
Right. Yes. Well, hey, appreciate your time. Glad that our schedules finally connected, and look forward to following Patriot high school basketball there next season.
For sure. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we got to get this in.
Yes, yes. So that here today's episode here, Patriot High School basketball coach Sherman Rivers here discussing his basketball journey, and then his team's time since he's been the head coach there at Patriot. So thanks again for your time, Sherman, and talk to you later.
I really appreciate it, Mark.
All right, see you. Okay.
Bye now.